let's do this real quick, because I can't even see anything on the screen. Alright, so we're walking right now. Oh, I gotta share that place. So, the like, yay, like! Yay. Is anyone on chat right now? I can't even see if anyone's chatting. I'm walking right now. So, yes, I know what to say. Eat your heart out, Tippy. I got it. I got it. I really just wish I could leave Seattle right now. I wish my financial situation wasn't in dire straits. I'm really just lost and confused. I don't know how to enjoy life anymore. That's just how I feel right now. I mean, I'm looking forward to Star Fox, but that's like weeks away. And on top of that, the thing that just feels so defeated about being a content creator is, let's say I want to play a game, right? Okay, Pokemon Champions. Everybody else has like higher weights in the algorithm. Their computer equipment is better, this is better. I don't want to compete against that. And that's the problem I'm kind of facing right now. Yes, I know I knew about Summer Games Fest. I didn't get invited. So, like, I don't get invited. I don't know if I got rejected from PAX West. I'm kind of in tears. I'm seeing everybody else get accepted. And it's kind of like one of those things that it makes me feel like the bullies won. Like, I lost, I should stop living. It's hard for me not to feel defeated. It's hard for me not to feel this way. And it's, I have to put it on camera, right? Why? Because I'm tired of having to be happy and lie to everybody. Just so I can try to pretend like my life is normal when it's not. And what's sad is that when you try to be genuine or honest, it's like someone is just like waiting in the audience to like throw a mud bomb at you. And then just see you smeared, covered in your face, like literally like Carrie from freaking, yeah. So, it's the sad reality we live in. It's like, you have to fight for your right every day, and it's just like, I just wish I could go back to being a student in high school or college and just enjoy my life then, because even with the dramas because drama happens in life no matter what you personally do or don't do, right? So this is a problem with life people don't understand. If you exist, problems are going to come at you whether you invited them or you not cause them yourself. And the sad part is that even when you try so hard to be so polite, someone will always the game of misunderstanding or misinterpretation, and take your words out of context. And then it's like, how many times do you want me to explain? How many times do you want me to tell you something? Um, but yeah, you know, I wish the PAC staff saw how much I had to go through just to attend their conventions, and I wish they extended a lending ear or an olive branch and was like, you know what? This is why you belong at this convention. You belong at this convention because it's gonna take a while if I'm walking, and I want to walk because I'm feeling fat and I just want to be able to exercise. My health's kind of gotten a bit worse lately because I haven't been physically active, and I have to start walking again. I have to start doing the physical activity. The problem with exercise isn't that I hate it. It's that I feel so depressed I don't want to walk. So it's like I view everything like I'm in quicksand, right? Going outside means I have to spend money when I don't. Going to work means that I have to somehow smile at people who I don't want to smile at. The hardest thing is when you try so hard to be a good person that it basically just burns your candle at both ends, and you're just like, I can't do this anymore. This has just spent me so much. I'm shot. So, and that's just how I've been feeling for months, for years. And I'm just at a point where I don't know how to make any decisions anymore. And then if I ask my parents for help, their response is, well, everyone has it hard, Nick. You need to work harder. And I'm just like, I don't know how much more harder you want me to work. Do you want me to be dead? Like, I don't think people understand anything. They're just so built up in their own situations, they don't want to listen. This is how the world works. This is like the same situation 7 years ago with that other person, and nobody cared when he went away. And they only cared after the fact, rather than during. Just the truth. It's like, someone can go through such a hardship. You know, I'll smile. Look, it's getting me out of the house. That's the important thing. This is why I'm viewing the donut. Like, the donut is making me get out of the house. I'm gonna have very little of the donut. Like, I'm not eating the whole thing. Oh, did you go away? Aw. Is anybody else here right now? Oh, ha ha ha. I had a comment on Twitter say unfunny liked my post. Is anybody? It's kind of bizarre to see zero, and I know he was in the chat. I shared the YouTube stream on Discord. This is just like breaking my heart again and again. It's like I feel like I have nothing left to keep going. God damn. Like, ugh. Like, this is not good. You're here. Well, I can, I'm trying to think how I'm gonna do this. So, I think I can take a screenshot or something of this screen or something, or like take a highlight and then, make a separate video in a short. I'm walking. Gonna keep walking. Boy, would I love to go back in time. So, okay. I'm crossing the street. So, I wish I could do something. So, I feel so lost in life. I just don't know who to talk to anymore. I mean, I am looking forward to Star Fox. I really am. But it's one of those things where, look, if you like video games and you want, please don't give me copyright strikes, copyright music again. Like, this is what I hate about being outside. It's like, I like going outside and walking, but you have to deal with so much unknown variables that some person with like loudspeakers and that's booming, and it's like, I'm gonna get your video struck down. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, that was even a problem in San Francisco. Oh my God. Like, try going to San Francisco and you'd hear loud booming music and you're like, how am I supposed to do anything? It would just make you irritable. It would just shake you to the core. Okay, thank you, Zenith. Happy Pride Month. I don't want to keep eating donuts. Look, I'm not trying to punish myself because I'm unhappy. It's just, I don't want to have to, look, and I know you can pay for things, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I just want to be able to interact with people. I just want to make friends. I just want to be happy. And I feel like this whole, happiness has to come from within. There's truth to that, but it's like being told to be happy at a job you don't want to be at. 24/7. And then you do that for months, only to feel defeated because nothing ever gets better. So, and then the whole I'll never forget when someone would tell you, what would they say? They would say, it gets better, or this, or that, and it's like, well, it didn't, and you didn't do anything, so now what are you going to do to actually take charge of this person that's upset? You're going to just keep telling him, I have to deal with problems all the time. So, if we're watching, we should at least get 4 likes. So, anybody else here want to say hi? Let me know. I'm just really feeling defeated right now. I'm just lost and confused and wishing I could make my life better, but not knowing what directions to take or what to do. Even when I have fun, it's like the sad part about being an adult is the adult aspect is kicking me in the back of my head, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? And it's because I would like to be doing this right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? That's what I hate about adulting, is you have to live with your decisions and actions, even if everyone else is far more successful than you. And it's just like, it's hard when the ruler stick is slapped in your face. And you're just like, I wish I could go back to a time where the immediate things had more weight in my surroundings, like being in a school environment. Because, like, let's say I had to deal with a teacher I didn't like. I could just ignore them and ADHD brain them away. Like, and then they're gone. Like, I don't have to worry about them or anything. So, what's everyone else up to right now? There's someone walking dogs. So we're crossing by my old job. Oh, I know, I understand that. But the problem is, Flocka Boy, is that when that happens and nothing ever gets better, it just feels hopeless and worthless. And it's like an unattainable goal. And then you're asked, well, what can I do to make it better? Because if everyone is just slamming with no Fs, and like no, and it's just like, what? Like, this is like, okay. So when I went to SoCal Gaming Expo, this was in Pasadena, California, my brother was pushing me to do a panel, and I really just wasn't in the mood because of, and every time I wanted to do something, my brother would be like, are you spending money on me, Nick? And I'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm broke. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and this isn't a fun endeavor if you just want to spend my money. Like, if you want to come up with ideas, and it's like, you're just throwing me into a fire and be like, go, Nick! Oh, I hope you burn alive! It's like, what? No, I'm going to this place to interact with people, and you're not giving me any words of encouragement, Bobby. You're not doing that. Right, so let's go to the panel. So, my panel was on a Sunday, and maybe 20 people showed up. It was probably one of the worst attendances for a panel. And look, you know, I'm putting on my best foot forward. I have to, like, look at the audience and be like, I'm here, I'm doing this. So there were a lot of problems that I couldn't test for. So SoCal Gaming Expo, like, their panels are really, they're not the, right, what am I trying to say? Their panels are not the main forerunner of the event. It's really more about the Tetris tournaments. And, you know, that's fine. I'm not against that, but to have a panel is usually a pretty big honor. Like, maybe you're not saving the world or anything, but it's an hour dedicated to what you're passionate about and showing an audience what you really like. So, unfortunately, my computer has this problem, where if I want to sign in, I have to have Wi-Fi. Here's where the problem happens. It's 20 minutes to the panel. And actually, I should say, it was actually an hour beforehand. And my brother's like, don't worry, Nick, I've got your back. I'll use my phone if you need Wi-Fi. So 20 minutes before the panel, I was like, Bobby, could I use your phone? He turns around, and he does a complete 180, basically lying to my face, being like, it's your problem now! And you're just like, so my heart is pumping out of my chest. I'm like, part of me just wants to punch my brother in the face because he did one of the most disgustingly lying things. And I have to run to a Starbucks to sign my computer online, then to run back to the convention center. I'm like, I get up from my seat. I'm like, Bobby, hold the convention center down. Well, I'm getting the computer online. So I run to the Starbucks. I sign in feverishly because my computer's low on power. Then I run back to the convention center, and then I have to buy an online. This convention center doesn't give you free online. I got a free pass but it didn't give me free online. So it's like, let me make it clear. Like, you might be a guest of honor at a convention. Those conventions give you the most bare bone things as possible. So you just have to be thankful and gracious and happy for what they give you, even if it's not everything you want, sadly. That's just how it is. You know, with PAX, at least when they do the panels at PAX, I will say this, and I mean this in a bright way with PAX. PAX gives you enforcers, they will test your panel. Like, this SoCal Gaming Expo did nothing. And so, but my experience on panels did help. My experience on panels helped, but it's like, imagine you have the worst possible help ever. You have your twin brother. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, I still have to review the movie, so I loved it. I wanted to reflect on my own personal experiences and how it connected with me. So, hi Sebastian, nice to meet you. So, I think the sad part about that movie is like Kane, that character Kane is trying to mean well, but he doesn't know how to connect. Like, there's that missing step to understand how to talk to the people that he is helping. And that's kind of like my twin brother. No, like Kane, like Caine. That Kane, different Kane. So Kane, that's his name, and he's the ringleader at the Digital Amazing Circus. No, not that one. Wrong. But I know what you're talking about. That was on that 64. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that yeah, they actually do kind of like have a bit of parallel to Cain and Abel. There is a parallel. Hi, Jens. Welcome to the stream. So, Cain is trying to do his best. That's okay. You can be a WWE stan. I just appreciate you coming into chat. Just be friendly, please. So, earlier I was talking about the pressure of putting on panels, and I was telling a story about, so I'll wind it back a little bit, right? I was telling the story about doing the SoCal Gaming Expo, and how it was one of my least favorite panels to put on because my brother kept belittling me and harassing me behind my back. So he wanted me to go to this convention, right, in Pasadena. I'm like, okay. And then his reaction is, are you gonna pay for my plane ticket? Are you gonna pay for my food? He's like basically nickel and diming me. And I just said to him, Bobby, if you want to help someone, you should do it out of the kindness of your own heart. You shouldn't hold them to a ridiculous standard to be like, oh, I did this for you, so now you have to do this for me. If that's your goal with family, that's abusive. It's like, jobs already do that to people, being like, well, it's either here, death, or the door, right? That's a sad reality. Okay, so let's continue. So, SoCal Gaming Expo, I go, my brother asks me to buy food for him. I do that for him. I'm very nice. I get food for him. We do all that, you know, ABC 1, 2, 3 stuff. And, oh, he does. Well, Jen, it's because I wanted to tell the story about the SoCal Gaming Expo. So, right, that convention center, they don't care about panels. They don't. It's not like PAX. If you show up to a PAX panel, you get a bunch of enforcers. They're like, hey, what do you need to test out? Hey, what do you need to do? If you go to SoCal Gaming Expo, if you don't know what you're doing, you're up a creek without a paddle. You are a total SOL. So let me make that clear. If you go to this convention, oh, he's probably happy being miserable to someone else. That's who he is. That's the kind of person he is. He's happy making other people miserable. That's his MO. So, right. Let's continue. Right, so we're going back, we're rewinding. So I'm at the panel. Right, so my computer at the time had a weird fail-safe where if you wanted to connect onto your computer, you had to connect the computer online. And so the convention Wi-Fi costs money, right? What's the problem with that? Right, you have to already be signed in to your computer. Oh yeah, that's how he always is. He's always loud. That's who he is. I have fun convention stories with him. They're not good though. Honestly, it makes me reflect and wonder if he's the reason why certain people didn't want to talk to me. And it's sad because it's like, I'm trying my best to put my best foot forward and to set good impressions. And then this is like being nasty and you're just like, well, I'm forced to give up because my brother's, it's like I can't do anything. So, right, let's continue. Yes, we will do a special unboxing for donut and everything. Let me continue. So, right, my twin brother is there right before I was going to do the panel. He was telling me how he was on my side, was going to help me. I told him, hey, I have a problem with my computer. It doesn't like to be signed in unless it's online. So he's like, I got your back. I have a browser thing and you can log into my computer. So it's 20 minutes to the convention, to the start of the panel, and I'm like sweating. I am in full, like my cortisol, my adrenaline is like pumping because I need to get this panel started, and I'm having problems with my computer. So I'm like, Bobby, I really need your Wi-Fi right now. So he does a total 180 lie slash to my face of, it's your problem now, in front of everybody. And I'm like, I get up, I take my computer, I'm like, then you better hold this computer, this panel down, and I need to go get my computer online. I'm back to Starbucks, I'll be back real quickly. I sprint out the door as if I'm basically, my life depends on it, to sign my computer into the Starbucks Wi-Fi. And then I run back, and I sit down. And then my brother's like, hope it was worth it. And you're just like, you want to strangle him. It just makes you pissed. Oh, I know, but Jen, that's the problem, is like when you have family, it's like family abuses you and gets away with it. Family will take your heart and smash it into the ground and then try to put it back together and be like, how was that experience? And you're just like, but anyway, so I get to the convention center, I sign in, I get plugged in. Oh, he's just nasty all the time. It's just who he is. So, right. Let's get on with it, right? Right, so I get the panel started. The panel's on screen, however, we have a problem. I can't get the audio connected. So, and my brother is a dumb F moron. If you ask him to help you, he will basically just slap it back in your face. He's like, I thought you were the expert. And I was like, I'm asking you for help. And then he would just be like, well, why don't you figure it out? And you're just like, and see, this is why I did everything myself. So he would just be like, his goal was to always burn you out as motivation. And it was like, this isn't motivating, this is just you being an ass. So you'd be like completely up, you just want to be like, I'm not gonna lie, I would have punched him in his face. I literally would have done it. I would have gone full Hermione Granger to Malfoy and be like, that felt good, and I don't even care if I go back to this convention. That's how he would make me feel. All day, every day. So, but anyway, I'm digressing. So the panel gets done, everything's fine. It's all over. My brother after the panel is like, well, I don't have to talk to you for the rest of the trip. Have a good day. Bye. And you're just like, thank God that was over. And so, yeah. So I was tying that into the Digital Amazing Circus because, right, Kane is a character on that show that wanted to help his other characters out and cohorts, but he would always be at a severing of the disconnect. Like, how can I say this? Like, Cain is the ringleader of this circus, right? And all of the characters in this circus are a part of Cain's adventures because they're basically held against his will. Oh yeah, absolutely. He's fully. This isn't about blame. This is about accountability and responsibility. It's like, Bobby, if you want to be helpful to someone, then you need to be true and honest about your intentions and not have a knife behind your back and stab them. That's what he essentially did. And it's like, it's hard for me not to feel like I'm always trying to escape that nightmare, and it's just the nightmare is still going. And it's like, are you kidding me? This is like the movie Obsession. It's like, oh, I really want something good to happen. And in fact, it's like the good thing is actually the opposite. And then you're just forced to feel miserable through it, and you're just like, great! So, fun fact, I uploaded a short that, so I took screenshots from my Facebook page for the Street Pass page, and I put it into a short, and I showcased all of the different events that went through 2011 upwards to 2020, actually not 2020, 2014. So 2011 to 2014. And you look at it, so Bobby's last event was in 2013, and I don't know if you know this, but he basically takes one of his systems and he does this. So he blocks his face from the group picture. I want to say it was August. I think that was the last picture. Like, he had gained like a mass amount of weight. So my brother had put on tons of weight. Why did he do that? So, right. I guess we have to go back to the timeline of 2012 to 2013. So in 2012, my twin brother went to the hospital. He had a near-death panic attack, and he's in the hospital. My mother is frantic, and I enter the room, and my mother just says, "You're the reason why he's in the hospital!" And I'm just like, what the? Well, that's great for him. I'm sorry he had to deal with that, but I have my own problems on my own plate. Did this person explain what their passing was due? What happened? Yeah.
Wait.
Did this person explain why their mother passed away? So it's just, I'm gonna need more context in the story other than just so-and-so's mother passed away. I want to feel bad for this person, but unfortunately it's hard for me to because of the strained relationship. Well, you know what? I will have to give him points. He can be one narcissistic person, but at least he has a heart, even if he's really bad at showing. Like, he's really bad. You know, he was a monster to me. And it's still unacceptable. So, he might not necessarily be a monster to everybody, but he was a monster. It's like my twin brother. My twin brother was a monster to me, and it's like I had to deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with it. Realize that the only reason why he went to those conventions is because of me, right? I was the one that introduced him to those conventions. He would have been nowhere without me. And he didn't give me any credit or anything. He didn't thank me in any videos. And it's just kind of heartbreaking. And look, I'm sorry about his mother's passing. I really am. But that doesn't give him any excuse to be nasty to me. None. I don't care if he builds 1 billion churches and repopulates the earth and do this and this. Like, that's great. I'm really happy for you. I'm happy for you. I mean that in the most sincere and nicest ways, but you still were a horrible person to me. And that does not repay what you did to me as a person. You can give me any reason why you're a good person, but if you're a jerk and you can't and somehow step outside of your own to reflect on that and to say, I'm sorry, then it's like, exactly. I'm a huge reason why he's popular. I'm a major reason why he's popular. He wouldn't have got to what he did today. I was the one that recommended Tomodachi Life. I was the one that recommended Fantasy Life. I was the one, I really don't. To be honest, like, his story is basically like the movie Obsession, where he made a monkey's paw wish. And even if he got what he wanted in a way that was going to rear end him in some way in the face. That's the truth. So it's like, okay, you want to donate all these hours to YouTube. Well, congratulations. Your work-life balance is out of whack. You're spending all your time playing video games. You're ignoring your wife. So what does she do? She calls you out on it. So I'm sorry, you got what you asked for. And you can feel sorry for him, you can do this, but it's like, he did what he did. He did what he did. I'm sorry his mother passed away. Hell, I'm almost sorry that Jess divorced him. But the problem is that when she called him a liar, it's like the writing is on the wall. It's like the writing is on the wall, man. And it's like, unless you're going to apologize and you're going to have a heartfelt discussion and explain what you did wrong, but instead you can basically like play freaking Men in Black and just be like, pfft, and everybody forgets it, and then just move on with your life. I wish I could do that. I wish I had that opportunity. I wish I had the resources. I wish I wasn't burned out all the time and broken and dead inside. It's like I look back and it's like, where was the friend I used to be with? And it's like, we were never friends. We were just YouTube pals. And that's it. And then the sad part is, when this person's path to success was on a ladder growing up, and I was way down here, did nothing to help me, did nothing to say anything to me. His life was more on the priority than mine whenever I asked him for something. And even when I asked for a conversation, he would just word it in a way that my life didn't matter. And it felt so disingenuous and disgusting and nasty, where I just was like hurt. It's like, imagine someone's in crisis mode and they're asking for your help. And they're explaining the scenario, they're explaining this, they're explaining this, they're explaining this. And you just wished, when you look back at it, it's like, you know what? If this person wasn't equipped, you just wish they had stopped you long ago and be like, I don't think we can be friends. And that's just it makes you feel like and wish. And I had to deal with that with many people, And again, do I feel sorry for him? I want to feel sorry for this person. I want to feel sorry. But this person doesn't give me one iota of a compassion, of connection. I'm not saying we have to be best friends, but there has to be some thread of empathy or connection, and there's none. And it just makes you feel like, oh, so I extended myself out to you, and you took advantage of my help, and then you didn't give me any credit or this, and then you're on this like ladder going up. No. He didn't respect me. He respected abusing. You know what he respected? He respected abusing the popularity to gain to his advantage. That's all he did. So once he got to where he was, it's like he put on the grind to get the success so he could basically be better than anybody else. I still remember when he teabagged another player in a competition to be a jerk. It's like, I'm sorry, like, you can tell me how great of a person he is. It's not going to take away that he's kind of like, I'm sorry. Like, no amount going to make up for his behavior. I'm sorry. Like, I want to feel sorry for this person. Let me explain something last year Jens. Look, I'm sorry his mom passed away, but he emailed me last year, putting threats on my channel because I voiced out about him. And this wasn't related to that. This was 5 years ago at the time. He's saying, Nick, you can't talk about my channel. You have to, so I'm just like, I'm engaging in this basically chess war with this person. And I'm just like, you know, it's really sad, dude, that you don't like me, and I don't like you either. But it's like, if you have a disagreement with someone, and someone made a video about you because they wanted to talk about the star trees. Jens, I'm really not enjoying this conversation. Can we please talk about something else? I'm sorry his mom passed away, but it's none of my business. And I wish you didn't bring it up. So, you talked about it, so now I'd like to move to something else. I didn't really need to know that. That's really something that he probably should have kept to himself. But I just think he wanted money for sympathy. I don't really care. Do whatever you want, man. It's like, you've already ruined my life. You've already taken so much joy out of mine to like drain me dry of resources. I really just wish my life was better. So, I'm sorry your mom passed away. No, I can't. I'm broke. I'm not sending him gifts. I'm sorry. He can send him his own flowers. He can send himself his own flowers. The guy has more money than I do. He's more stable financially, everything. He's stable more than I am. I wish I had that stuff. It's like, the only reason why I'm getting this donut is because Kalaka Boy bought it for me. And I was lucky and fortunate to have a matinee movie. But it's like, I have no money. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, and then people are just taking his life story and bashing it to me in my face. It's like, look, man, I'm really happy that he's happy, but I'm really sorry he's sad, but I can't help him. He was nasty and rude to me. And basically, he just wants me to chop my balls, feed it to him, and be like, how does that taste, Nick? Oh, that tastes great. That's all he wants. He doesn't want, right, when I asked him questions years ago, let's really get into this. Let's really rip off the scars and wounds for everybody to see, right? 2016, right? I lost my job. I was still trying to go to conventions to enjoy myself. I confront him. I'm like, Abdallah, I'm having problems. I'm telling you these things, and you don't seem to listen. Nick, my problems are way worse than yours. And so basically the conversation devolved into, I never forgot this. I was like, Abdallah, you told that kid you want him to burn into a pile of lava. And it's like, Abdallah's like, Nick, I think you're being cynical. It's like, how am I being cynical about something that you're basically telling a little kid in a competition who beat you, and you're being nasty to him? Yeah, this was 2016 PAX West. I'm sorry, like, it's like, this is the person you want to all support. We're at 4-3. I just wish I could go back to enjoying my life again, honestly. Personally. I wish I never met this person because they didn't care about me as a person. They just cared about their own success. And when I helped them to their success, they were all happy. It's basically a male Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada. If you give him what he wants, he might be barely happy, but then you ask him for a favor, and immediately he hits you with knives. Wasn't really a joke. And even if it was very poor taste. I have to be upfront with you. No. It's like, with this person, the ruler sticks just start coming out, and you're just like, how am I supposed to enjoy my life? How am I supposed to do things when this person is dragging me and draining me dry? This is like going to a job you don't want to go to and be like, I'm so glad you came to work today. You're going to be dead soon, so you don't have to worry about rent or this or this. And you're just like, when do I start to enjoy the reason why I lived? You know what I'm saying? It's like, there were very few things I enjoyed this year. There were moments at PAX East I enjoyed. There were moments about Pokopia I liked. There were moments about even Tomodachi Life, living the dream, I enjoyed. But unfortunately, the sad part is the kicking aspect of adult was always rearing into my face. You know, you're hungry, you're thirsty, you're this, you're that, your human body form is telling you to do things because you're just so upset. You don't know how to face anything. And you start to wish you actually had friends. You start to wish that you actually had people you could talk to. So, this person only makes me feel miserable about myself. So, I will only say it one last time. I'm sorry about his mother's passing, but I don't want anybody to bring up his life around me. And if they do, they need to shut up and walk away. I don't want to hear about him. I don't. This person has only just wanted to take a knife and kind of twist the friendship line and then be like, what are you talking about? I can use and abuse you, Nick. No, you can't. Shut the hell up and get the hell away from me. It's like, you just want me to believe you have my back. I never forgot when he hit 100K subs, and he's all like, I'm so glad everyone's helping me. I'll have your back too, guys. No, you didn't. You just wanted to make content so you could make money, so then you didn't have to do anything else. And then, once your machine really got going, you just wanted to use other people to do your work for you. That's all you wanted to do. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your mother's gone. I'm sorry your ex-wife divorced you. But you kind of got what you got. And you got your success also with the failure. Congratulations. So, I don't know what it is more to say. I don't know what. I don't know how to enjoy life anymore. You've ripped the fun out of it. So, I really just want to get this donut and just like have a taste of it on stream, and I want it to be over. You know, in some ways it's kind of like an ironic joke that it's just not a joke at all. I just don't even care. I just wish that my life could be fun again. I just wish that I could get resources when I asked for it, instead of getting bare minimums and nothings and it gets better! Oh, it doesn't! Oh, too bad for you! All I get all day. I don't know how to make my own happiness anymore. This is like literally awful. It's terrible. It's like I just want to go back to a time when I could handle life in front of me. I want to go back to having a summer vacation that didn't feel like the pressures of adulthood were like banging me on the door. I want to go back to that. So, we're still walking right now. Can we switch the topic to something else? Can we please switch the topic to something else? I'm sorry his mom passed away. Okay? Please. So, alright, I'm back. It just seems like no matter what I keep doing to keep living, there's always something miserable to make me feel terrible about living and going on. And I just wish that would stop. Like, I just wish I could just like hibernate until life is over. That's how I feel every day. I don't feel happy, you know? And even when I do, it's so fleeting that it's like, oh, I wish the happiness didn't end. And then it does, and then you have to go through hours of pain and torment, and you're just like, oh, right, I have to work a miserable job and then try to figure out how to make my life better when nothing's getting better. And you're constantly dealing with the doom and gloom of the world, and you're just like, can I just have my lottery ticket to cash out? Can I have my lottery ticket and get to win and finally not have to worry about what else is going on in life right now? And people will always say things like, money doesn't handle happiness. You know what? At least that money would help me handle my misery. And that's just the truth. It's like, if I had finances to actually handle problems, not bare minimum amounts of money, not shoestring budgets, I could actually do things, but I can't. So, I just wish I could have a conversation with a normal human being and not feel like I'm put on some kind of like ruler stick measurement of, did you hear so-and-so, something passed away? Oh, doesn't that make you feel sorry for that person when their life is way better than yours? It's like, I'm really sorry for this person, but I don't like being compared. I already had to deal with my twin brother my entire life, and him kind of just like rearing his ugly face in me, and I'd just be like, ew. So, I see 4 people in chat, so is anyone else here? Can I talk to somebody that actually is a human being that feels any sort of warmth or compassion or empathy, that wants to have a conversation, that didn't come to the stream, tell me bad news about somebody else that I'm out of control of helping? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of having to deal with that. Like, I am burned out. I am spent. I am just like at a point where I don't know how to make any decisions. My whole brain is like destroyed. Like, I don't know how to handle life anymore. It's like, and then the only responses I get are boomerisms of bootstraps and life will get better if you work through it. You know, what happens when you're just slammed in the face? And no matter how much work. It's like, was anybody there for me when my brother hit me in my own back? Was anyone there for me when my third ex relationship slashed all my things and I had to buy them back if I wanted? Was anyone there for me? Right. Was anyone there for me when I needed it? No. I want to be compassionate to people, and I mean that. But when someone severs the connection, what am I talking about? I'm talking about when I put myself on the line from moment to moment. Do you know what it's like to push a 99-year-old woman in a wheelchair in through 100-degree heat in Las Vegas to get to her flight? Do you know how stressful that is? Do you know how stressful it is to work at a job that's so bare bones and dead, and it's like they hand you your paycheck as if they act like you matter, when it's like literally you could be replaced? Do you know how hard that is? And then you try to explain this to people, and their reactions are so tone deaf. You're just like, what? So that's what I'm talking about. Honestly, I wish I could go back to handling, like, experiences I knew how to handle. Like, that's what I wish. I wish I could go back to enjoying life for what it was, rather than having to worry about my own future that doesn't exist. It's like, does anybody understand how that feels? What was really difficult was going to New York Comic Con 2 years ago, while you feel like your life's in shambles and you don't know how to talk to anybody. That's the hard part. It's like, you have to kind of just keep perpetually lying to yourself that things will get better. And they never do. And then you're just like, well, why did I even bother? It's like, I had to go out to work today, right? I have to go out to work today to get a paycheck when someone smeared me in my face and was nasty to me at a convention. So, Alright, so we're gonna be a while till we get to that donut place. I really just want to get out of Seattle right now. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't feel happy in the city. I don't feel happy in life in general. I just wish I could talk to people. I just wish I could be happy about something. I don't want to keep hearing bad news. I'm tired of it. I want it to stop. Like, I just want to be happy about something. And it's just like I wake up in this perpetual nightmare that never ends. I would rather go back to being a teenager in high school and dealing with bum-ass Woodside coach who's a moron on telling me that my hip can't be injured, because at least that insanity I could deal with. I'll just never forget that. Coach Woodside, my hip is hurting and it's not feeling well. Nick, you can't injure your hip. I'm a coach. You're just like, yeah, okay. You know, Clock Boy, I just want to go to LA so I can attend VidCon. I just wish that I had someone buy me a badge. And I wish that someone could give me a way down there, and a place to stay, and a way to talk to people. I wish I could just remove the financial constraints so that way I don't have to worry about living my life to make decisions, so it can remove those problems. It's like, I can't tell you how much I put myself on the line for PAX East to only get barely what? A Pokemon Champions video that barely hit 15K? That's not going to help my channel out. That's not going to help me out. And I know people play the game of, Nick, making money isn't the purpose of life. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry to say. It's like, but you know, the problem is, and this is how the world works today because of capitalism and corporate markets, right? To succeed as an adult, this is the reality. You need to be able to have some kind of livelihood or passion that gives you a paycheck so you can pay your bills, so you can pay your dues to keep living. You don't live in this world for free. You don't live in this world to do whatever you want. Everything has consequences, whether you want the consequences or not, right? This is the sad reality. So you could go through every day. You go through every day not really knowing what life is like because you're shielded so much that no one has prepared you anything. Imagine having a parent who failed to teach you how to do taxes, drive, or look at the world as an adult. And look, I get it. You know, if I was a parent, I would want my kid to not worry about adulthood responsibilities. Do you think any parent wants their kid to worry if the food or the bills are going to be paid? No. However, to shield, this is the problem, to shield, to completely blind your offspring from the realities of the world is to utterly lie to their face about what the world is in store for you. And to do that is neglect and abuse. And, you know, quite frankly, you look at it and you're just like, no matter how anyone wants to spin the story, it's like, I'm sorry, but for someone to go through life and not know how to do things because their parents are trying to protect them, that's abuse and neglect. And unfortunately, you know, we don't see that from day to day. And sometimes that just builds up over time, right? That's the sad reality. That builds up over time. So imagine growing up in a really small town that's super protected. And then the day that you come out is the day that you get completely rejected for the rest of your life. You know how that feels? So, yes, I will get the donut. Don't worry. What's my camera at? 68%. Yeah, exactly. You know, the thing is, like, money is how people have any sort of structural system to basically get better. And then when they don't make money for months, that's scary. And it's like when the government just makes people stupider because they don't want people to do better. That's the worst part. And it's like, it's basically like having like a square peg fit into a circle hole. And it's like trying to do that over and over and over, and you're just like, God damn. Look at that. All the time, Jens. But it's like the joke about what's the joke? You ever see there's a picture of two people and one person showing how it's done and the other person not quite getting it. And the person showing how it's done said, "See, do it how I do it." And the person that's trying to do it is like, the gap is too big. I guess you're just stupid. And you're just like, no, I'm not stupid. You can't explain it to me. This is basically the equivalent of my brother showing me Switch Sports and then asking me to play with him, and then I ask him how to play. And then he says, figure it out. And I keep failing after like 3-4 times. I'm like, you know what, I give up. And he just laughs in my face, I guess you were bad at it. And I was like, no, you just didn't give me a chance to improve. Like, it's like, let's play a different game. So I beat him in Just Dance. We played one song, and once he lost, he had an allergic reaction. He hit reset, he's like, let's play a different game. Then I kept beating him in Wonder, at least. And that made me feel better, but it was just sad because it was this like gaming dynamic where it was like, he felt like his life was so miserable that he had to slash it in my face. And then any moment that he got slapped back tenfold, he had to hit the reset button and act like it didn't exist. And you're just like, God damn. That's usually how the world works. The sad thing is, when I put on those Straight Pass events years ago, it meant a lot to me because it was my livelihood. It was my passion. It didn't make me money. It just made me happy to share that happiness with other people. But the saddest thing, the saddest part, Chance, is imagine putting on these events for people, and you just always have those people that even when Bobby isn't around, they're going to tell you the whatever reason, you're a failure. And it's like, you wish you could explain to these people, like, look, I put on this event, I spent this money because I wanted you guys to be inspired. I wanted you guys to see what I was able to do with these events. So you'd be like, wow, he did that. He hired a quartet. He brought out a cake for us. Wow, we mean a lot to him. Instead, they took the opposite. They went into the total cognitive dissonance approach. Oh, he spent money? He's rich. No, I'm not. I saved for months to do that. It's like, I'm not rich. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So it's like, I had the one chance in a lifetime to indulge, not just for myself, but for my group. And my group turned their back on me. And you know, I kept doing events till the end of the year, but the saddest part is, it just kept feeling like, Jens, that every moment was more diminishing than the last. And you just felt like you had nothing. So, I guess I should tell you a story from 2015, since you brought up his name over and over. Let me tell you something about my experience with that person and his wife at the time. This person that you kept referring to, his wife was very upset with him because... No, I need to explain it for you. Right. My mother rooms because I friend at the time. Did I get one iota of a thank you? No. Did he ever return the favor? No. I'm making it clear. I'm making it clear. This person never had my back for anything. Nothing. And then, when shit hit the fan, and I got bullied, he also did nothing. So, I'm sorry, again. I will keep saying I'm sorry for this person. But he did what he did. And he reaped what he sowed. That's all I have to say. Okay? It doesn't matter. Okay? I'm sorry this person's mother passed away. I'm sorry he went through a divorce. But he did the actions and they came with the consequences. And he accepted it because that's his life. Just like I have to do that in my own life. But no one is there to help me pick me up off the floor. I have to pick myself off the floor. So, I have to pick myself up off the floor every day, and it hurts, Jens. It hurts so bad because I don't know what options to make. The only time when I can make a decision is when I can just keep moving forward without questions. And I have no idea what options to choose. So, it's nice to have a game plan when things work in your favor. But when you don't know what you're doing, and your capture card breaks, and your computer looks like garbage, and you're crying on stream because you don't know how to get things working, when your viewership says 0, and you're going to a job that makes you miserable, and then everyone's like, I'm so glad I took a dig out of his self-esteem. Really? Really? I just think the world lacks compassion and empathy. It really does. And the sad reality is, if someone has it worse than you, then that person having it worse deserves more empathy, even if what you're going through is worse. Because that person deserves such a gold star that no matter what you've gone through means nothing. It's like I don't know how to live. It's like I have to just turn a blind eye while everyone's like, I'm happy, success. And you see everybody happy, and you're crying internally, and you're bitter, eating your own tears, eating food that's boring, just to have the longevity. Yes, I'm having a donut today, but I'm not having the whole thing. I'm enjoying it in pieces. I'm being physically active so I can at least start walking again, because I need to take care of my health, even if the world is burying me in misery. Okay? So, yeah, my mother reserved that room for him and his wife. He never said thank you. And then basically the last day, he was gone because he spent it with her, and that was fine. I'm happy that he got to do that. I really mean that. But it just felt like he was always taking the roller stick to make you feel miserable. So that's all I have to say. I don't feel compassionate giving flowers. I feel like the most compassionate thing I can do is say, I'm sorry, like my deepest sympathies or condolences. That's all I'll say. And I've said it a million times on the stream. However, right, this is no different than when a certain person passed away and that fan base attacked me rampantly. They're like, oh, he's gone, it's your fault. It's like, no, it's not. I didn't do anything. And that fan base has so much noise and narrative, they can say whatever they want. And I can't do anything. That's a sad reality. And then it's like, this person was a success and you're a failure. Thank you for dragging it into my face and making me feel like no matter what options I do, everything is screwed. And Jens, do you at least understand from my perspective why it's so hard? It's not because I don't have compassion or empathy for someone's mother who passed away. That's not the problem. The problem is what they did to me. And just because of the fact that their family member passed away doesn't take away what they did. So I think you have to understand that. It's like, imagine working a dishwasher job and you want, oh, very much so. More so him. Honestly, the funny part is I'll just never forget when his ex-mods messaged me in Discord and they were all laughing at him. We were all having a good time, kind of like making a bonfire about this streamer. We're laughing. And they were like, Nick, can you tell us about your experiences with this person? Yeah, I tipped him off about Mario Kart 8, and I told him to go to Series to buy it early. And his then wife bought the game early, and he bought the game and he played it. Oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And I explained all these things, and he's like, so what was the worst part about working with this person? He always just wanted more when he would do less, and then on top of that, he would make you feel like your existence was only for him. And he's like, and then they're like, so basically he's a narcissist. Yes. Yes, he is. So if you ever asked for a favor, he'd basically be like friends with my twin brother. He was basically like, he took all of the negative traits of Bobby and slammed it 10 forward in my face. And you're just like, wow. It would make you feel sick, gents. It would make you feel so sick. You wouldn't, I mean, like, I can't tell you, like, how I felt in the beginning of 2014 and in the end of 2014. It's like you didn't recognize me as a person. You were like, wow, you went through tragedy, Nick. Wow. You made friends with someone who basically stabbed you in your back. I was like, yep. And it's like, and then someone would be like, Nick, what was the hardest part about being friends with this person? Communication. Anytime you try to say anything or do anything, it would just make you have a nerve to stand up for yourself, only get devalued to your face, and you're just like, I can see that tribal narcissism is definitely reigning true for this person. And he'll say whatever it is to back his own words, but nothing to actually stand for his friends. Rest in peace, so-and-so's mother. My deepest sympathies. Your son was not a good person to me, but I'm sorry you're gone from this world. That's the highest level of empathy you can come from someone. All the time. You know, the hardest part about living, Jens, is going out into the world wanting a better day when the rest of your life is misery. When the rest of your family is just rooting for your downfall. And they're like, I had your back and you failed. Exactly. So, and look, I'm sorry that his mother passed away. I don't know how much more I can say I'm sorry for him. But just because I'm sorry his mom passed away doesn't take back the nasty things that he did to me. Doesn't take back the nasty things that other people did to me. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I asked. And to be honest, let's be upfront here. This is how the internet works. The internet just likes to play word salad with people's text, right? Nobody likes to take people's narratives straightforward. I could be as clear and direct as day, and someone is like, oh, that's what he said, but that's what he meant. No, he said what he meant, you just took it the wrong way. So, and that's all I have to say. And I'm tired of being tripped up in people's word salads. I'm tired of it. I just don't know how to navigate myself through anything anymore. I'm just constantly upset and miserable, and I don't know how to create any happiness anymore. You know, I saw Adam McIntyre was going to the convention. What's my charge at? So I'm waiting on PAX's email to get that media badge. I really just want to go to PAX at least. I just want to have a convention on the horizon. I just want to smile for one last time. I just want to keep telling myself so it happens. I just keep telling myself that. You know, I have to tell you something. I was a little devastated that Tom Colicchio's restaurant stopped after 25 years. But you know, no matter how long someone's run lasts, it eventually has to end for whatever reason. And it's hard not to see someone's success feel like it means nothing because it's over. But that's not the point. That's not what you should be looking at, right? You should be like, wow, this person lasted 25 years with their restaurant. You know, the sad thing is, when life moves forward and technologies shift and change, it's hard not to look at things that we had that were so great until it's gone. And you just wish that people actually appreciated things more. And you start asking yourself, and this has to go with Nintendo, right? You start asking yourself if the Wii U didn't fail and the 3DS even sold better, if we would have had different games today. And you can't help but ask that question, because all you think is, well, you know, companies have to adjust to the market, right? No matter if they can't be a crystal ball soothsayer and be like, this is how the market's gonna react. Right? Nobody knows the answers. So, anyway, you know, we have a bit ways to go. I'm trying to remember where we have to go for that place. All right, I'm back. So I see where I need to go. I keep telling myself that. I'm gonna have to give the rest of the donut away. I can't eat it all. I will take a bite out of the tip. I will say, I will even allow you not so good, Alfred. I'm really just lost and confused and asking myself, how am I making decisions anymore? And I'm just getting a bunch of vague proverbs without any answers. And it's just so confusing. I feel like I'm just forced to always forfeit and lose. That's just how I feel. I don't know how to do something without being happy anymore. And I've been struggling for years with this. It's one of those things that existentially just takes a freaking stake through your heart. And you just ask yourself, when does it all get better? When does the suffering end? When is it temporary that your decisions actually pave a way for a future? That's the problem I'm in. This is where I am. And I just wish the bullying would stop. And it's like, you ask yourself if there's actually going to be any change or action. There's pretty much, I should say there's almost, because there's always that 9 out of 10 kind of like probability. But it's like, the sad reality is, I just don't have any money right now. I just don't have resources to do anything. I mean, I have a phone. But I just feel like as soon as the stream ends, I already feel defeated. As soon as I'm done for the day, as soon as I eat, the nagging adulthood is kicking me in the back of my brain, being like, you haven't made progress in your life, you've done nothing. That's where I am. And the saddest part is I have all of these ideas, all of this that I want to do, and I have no resources. I don't have things. I could work for a job that's going to basically chew me up and spit me out and be like, so glad you can do your job is worth, but the day you're gone, you're worthless. This is how jobs are in the American work environment. They don't care about your life. They just care that you're dead. They don't care that they give you money. They're actually pissed that they give you money. They wish they could basically rob you, force you to work for slave wages, which is what they do. And the saddest part is they give you enough to barely exist, but not enough to ever feel happy. They give you enough to have a slight dopamine boost and then smack you in your face and glide. This is what jobs do in the States. They don't make people feel happy. School environments do a better job of lying to kids than jobs do to adults, because kids don't know any better. But adults sadly know they never get to where they need to go. So, that's just the real world. Um, oh, it's stressing me out. I don't know where to do or what to do. I just wish that my capture card it's nonstop drama, it's nonstop this, and you're just like, can someone just clear the way for me? Can someone clear the path? I am so broken. I am so sad. I am so upset. I just... Yeah, I don't like being this way either. So I'll catch you up to speed. Earlier in this live stream, we had discussed how he had hurt me, and I had fallen down a rabbit hole of deceit and lies from him, where he would act like he was on my side, and he would just constantly egg me on and lie to my face. So, yeah, last year, was it this day last year? Is this the 6th? Yeah, it's the 6th. So, this is the 1-year anniversary of when he hit me in my back. It was the 1-year anniversary where my brain just got fried, where I cried so hard and nobody was there to help me. It's the 1-year anniversary after the Switch 2, where I was so lost in decision making, I didn't know how to live on and move forward. That's what happened last year. When people I thought had my back betrayed me, and a channel was erected to bully me, and YouTube did nothing to stop it. I keep telling myself that, Alfred, it feels like you're the only one there for me. I wish it was more than just you. I know you mean well. I know you're trying to be there for me, but it feels like I'm always just alone, even when I have one person. I just wish I didn't feel alone. I just wish that... You know, one of the most hurtful things I saw was on the channel that bullies me. There was a person I used to be friends with, and he left a comment, and the comment he said was, I hung out with Nick for 3 times, and the only attention he wants is to be negative. And I'm like, wrong. You didn't even listen to what I have to say. You just made an opinion based on how you felt without even discussing it. So it's like, I'm not saying this to be right. I'm saying this because this is the facts and scenario, right? It's like if I'm having to be, hold on one second. Right, so Darian was a friend of mine. He was the reason why I had to change the bottom of my community tab on YouTube. He left a comment on this channel that's harassing me. And the comment was, I hung out with Nick for 3 times. And every time I hung out, he just wanted attention for being negative. And I was like, false. That's not what I want. Like, if you asked what I want versus what I need, I can tell you with plain as day. It's like, I just want someone to spend time with. I just want to be happy. I just want someone to like listen to me when I'm going through trouble and to like hear what I have to say and empathize. I'm not asking for you to validate my negative experiences. I'm not asking you, right? This is how, like, people need to understand what true connection and empathy is. If people understand that, then there's a better world for us. But if they don't, then it's gonna be harder. So, the thing I have to say is, when someone's going through a tough time, like, just offer some kind words. And if you're able to do more, then do more what you can. Don't overextend yourself if you can't. So, and you know, I confess, sometimes I overextended myself. He really does. You know, the saddest part, Kalaka Boy, is my family spent their entire lives disciplining him. Or I should say, I should technically change those words. They spent the entirety of his life disciplining him. Not because they wanted him to feel bad or penalize him, but because they wanted to explain to him, hey Bobby, we understand that this is how you reacted to a scenario, but you have to understand something, that your brother has your back. Your brother has your back, and if you have a problem, then you need to use words effectively to explain the scenario so he can explain something. But if you just want to label him autistic rage or whatever because you're upset with him, rather than sitting down and spending time with him. His name is not spelled with a Y. It's just Darian. I don't care. Look, the point I'm making isn't having to do... I'm not taking Darian to court. Like, what Darian said... Right. Here's the point I'm trying to make. So please don't take my words out of context. Just take it for how I interpret it and how I move forward, right? So, Darian did not like any of the experiences that he spent with me. Okay, I'm sorry you didn't like me, and I'm sorry you didn't feel a connection for whatever reason, right? I'm sorry you didn't feel a connection, Darian. However, Darian, that being said, you have just as much right to tell the person how you really feel if there's a problem. And if there's a problem, you need to say something and use your big boy words, because we're both adults here, and you need to say it in a way that if it offends me, I can take a moment to process it and be like, well, what did you say by that? And this is language that is universal. There's no miscommunication of language between cultures or people. It's just two people having a conversation, having a connection, right? You know, the sad thing is that we get roped in these Trojan friendships because we really want to see the world as a better place. It's just we've got 9 people watching today. Thank you for... What positives can I focus on? This walk. The problem though is this walk can end. And it just doesn't feel like it moves forward. That's the problem. I'm moving forward, but I'm not moving forward in the way that I want to. And I just wish that I had more than just someone who could listen. I wish someone who could actually give me resources. He would deny it. He would lie. He would be like, I didn't hit him. He slapped me. No, it's not that I'm focusing on negatives. Let me be clear here. I'm being constructive. I appreciate that, but I don't feel that. I don't feel young and beautiful I just feel upset and sad. I appreciate you're saying these things to be constructive. I just wish that it led a path. So here's the point I'm gonna make, right? So it was the day before the launch. Right, I'm allowed to feel upset. But I'm more than allowed to feel upset. It's not just about feeling upset and being allowed to feel feelings. It's about the actions that dictated the feelings of what he did that were bad. It was about what he did as a person and the way that basically he got away with murder. And so, right. So let me explain the sequence of events. So the day I didn't have a lot of money, and so I asked Bobby if he could buy the console because I wanted to cover the launch. Unfortunately, budget constraints really hit me in the face. And, I take full accountability here. I should have saved that money for myself, I should have just blocked my brother, and I should have just bought the console myself. Right? That's the reality. That's what should have happened. That way, I wouldn't have dealt with the scenario. Everything would have been hunky-dory. I would have been happier. Maybe not everything would have been perfect. Unfortunately, I was not the first to buy the console. Red flag. Because that person did not wait as long as I did. And when I tried to defend myself, what did Bobby do? Laughing and sneering in my face. Oh, I guess you're last. So I couldn't even buy the console from what I set out to do. So he basically lied and slashed me in the face. You know how, reprehensible that is? It's like if Joe Jackson was beating and abusing Michael as a kid, and then being like, you were always a failure, Michael. Just because of the fact that Michael became successful. It's like that. That's the best analogy I can come up with. So, right. Okay. Sequence of events. So, we're getting ready to head to the line. Bobby's like, are you buying me breakfast? Okay, I'll buy you breakfast. So we go to a place. The breakfast is $15. Are you gonna buy it for me, Nick? No, nothing is true. It's all narratives taken out of context to make me look bad. And let me be very clear. If someone is having a crash out, okay, if someone is having a mental health crisis, and they take their mental health crisis and they make it into a joke, they make it into a parade, that's bullying. That's harassment. And the sad thing is that those people that follow that channel are the same people that they're the fan base from the person who passed away 7 years ago. So they've learned nothing from the events of 7 years ago, and the only thing they took back is, oh, we should be better people in the world. Nah, bullying solves all the problems. It's what they did. So they didn't really do anything. They just wanted to deplatform. Well, here's the problem, right? Because they've fixed the system, right? This is no different than someone struggling to do things to stay healthy. This is the problem. Seattle tattoo. That's nice. We're almost at... Yeah. There you go. Alfred said it best. They're mocking mental health. And mocking someone... I don't. Right. So that's the... ambulance. Right. So I went to the hospital for a panic attack, and I scheduled an appointment for a therapist. They dropped me after one appointment. I basically have to fight to have a therapist. This is how ridiculous adulthood is. You have to fight tooth and nail to keep living. And it just paralyzes you from decision making. You hit decision fatigue and you feel incapable of doing things. You can't fall back on lessons or habits that you've learned because people have fixed the system to give them their benefit and you've already lost. This is the world we're living in. I think the problem with ChatGPT is sometimes it just tells you what you want to hear rather than to give you hard truths. So, and ChatGPT is very subjective to objective. So, if you're trying to prove a point, you can definitely make an angle sound solid, but that only goes so far. Okay. All right. I read what you have to say. I respect. Sorry, the donut place is up ahead. You're saying that you had excuses every time? Okay, I got it. Let's see. I'm almost at the donut place. So I got my receipt. So, all right. So I have to present my receipt. Oh, I respect and understand that. Oh, I understand that. But here's the problem. As much as I want to help myself first, if I get rejected, what's my option after getting rejected? Accept the failure and just dig myself deeper? That's the problem I'm always in. I deal with a rejection, and it's like, again, I understand what you're saying, but here's the problem. Here's the caveat, right? We're dealing with a problem, and we need to find solutions that are going to bring a swift action. Can't wait for the unveiling. No, I'm not looking at the buts. I'm looking at the reality. Okay, what's your reality, Kirby? Let me focus on getting the donut, okay? I have to mute the stream. I'm looking at the problem too. But at the end of the day, that channel is a troll. And there's nothing that's going to change that. And you have to understand from my perspective. That channel doesn't want a conversation. That channel is a mob. You know, tough love is great when it does its job, but sometimes tough love is like an overcorrection to another problem. That's the problem with tough love. Tough love does not solve every problem. And sometimes tough love goes too abusive that it actually does the opposite effect. Sometimes it goes into the Trojan friendship card, right? Here are the problems, okay? We're talking about scenarios that people want to play with narratives to make them sound more important than you so they can twist the game in their favor and screw you in your face. All right. I'm going to do the donut thing. We're at 47%. All right, I gotta mute my stream. I'm gonna grab the donut. I'll be right back. Oh, I listen to everybody. I don't want a misery stew. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a misery stew. I already told you. You can think what you want of me, and I already told you. All right, I'm muted. So I'm not going to be eating the entire donut. I'm only eating a piece of it. So I'm going to give the rest away. So I can't eat this entire donut. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So I need to find a place where I can park for a little bit and yeah, I'll do my best to empty it. Maybe I should do the Squidward bite. It's okay. I understand, Alfred. I get it. Nobody can help me right now. I have to be happy off nothing. I get it. It's fine. So, I wish I had help right now. I think the worst part about the world is you look better smiling. Smile at me. So, oh, my teeth look like garbage. Okay, so I got my camera stand. You got it for me. I appreciate that, Kalaka Boy. Thank you. See? One simple action shows appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. And you just wish that sometimes those words were followed by more than just a thank you. You know, years of service, years of this. Sometimes people say words when they mean it, and sometimes people say words when they just want to say something rather than actually doing anything. I'm worried about that every day. Like, to be honest, like, okay, so let's clean off the lens. Okay, so hello everyone, Nick here. If anybody wants to clip this part of the stream, I'd really appreciate it. Alfred, I'm going to ask a favor. So, is anyone able to clip this part of the stream for me so I can use this for shorts? Can anyone do that for me? Can anyone take this part of the stream, clip it, so I can use it for shorts? I'm waiting in chat to see if anyone's going to respond. I'm asking for one simple favor, action. I'm really just asking, I'm not asking for the world. I'm just asking for a simple response. Okay. Alright, ready? Hello everyone, Nick the Gaming Otter here, and I have this wonderful donut. This voodoo donut. So we're gonna open it up real quickly. I don't get donuts very often. I have severe body dysmorphia issues, and I like to eat healthy and stay alive. I don't like the negative effects of food to me, but we're doing a special request because we need to live at least once. We need to live at least once. This is a special donut called the Cock and Balls. And I'm gonna do my best to not channel my inner McDonald's CEO Squidward bite and make fun of this scenario and laugh and enjoy every moment, even if I feel awkward about it. So, let's open the donut. Wow! Look at that donut. Hilarious. Wow. So we're gonna take a taste. So, I've got a really wonderful request. So all I have to say about this wonderful Cock and Balls, eat your heart out, Tippy. You wish you could tip this tip. Anyway, let's do it. So, obviously I have to take the tip first. You know what? How many times can I say tip, right? Tip, tippy, tip, 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 tippy, tip, 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 tippy, tip, yep, tipster, tippy, tip, tip, tippy, XO, 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 tippy, tip, 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 tip. I'm taking the tip. Tippy. So, all right, tippy. I think there's a lot of cream filling in it too. Oh, there is. There's more cream than Tippy's tip. But, Tippy turned weird again. So, you didn't realize how huge it was? This is how big it is. Alright, so we're gonna take our bite. We're gonna take a tip out of the tip. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty big tip I took. Look how much, look at the chunk I took out of this tip. Look at that. You know, it tastes really good. It tastes, so you want me to tell you what it tastes like? It tastes like hell. Meaning it's like pure indulgence. You know, it's a good bite. It's very solid. Let's take a taste of the balls. Okay. It's great. I really want to eat the whole thing though. Okay. I'm straight somehow. I'm not eating it all the way. I'm done. I need some water after that. Yeah, I would feel sick out of this. Thank you, Kalaka Boy, for getting me out of the house today. I really appreciate that. I can't eat it all. It's gonna make me sick. I can't eat this all. I can tell this is gonna make me sick. I don't want to get sick. Honestly, just taking the bite that I did, it already makes me feel sick. The donut was great. It's not that I disliked the donut. The donut was fantastic. It was fine, but it's a lot. It's a lot of sugar. Like I'm gonna give it to a homeless person. But you know what I have to do? I have to get a knife. So I'm gonna get a knife. So yeah, I'm already feeling a bit sick after eating this. I'm gonna get a knife. I'm gonna cut off the portions that I bit, so I don't give the rest of my bites to the other person. I'm going to eat very little else of the donut, and then I'm going to hand it out. That's an excellent question, Zenith. I am eating clean. I'm eating very clean. I had salads and such all day. Alright, we're gonna have to get a knife. Ugh! Ow, 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 ow. Ow! Oh, I know. I got a lot of I'm probably gonna go back to the donut place. Yes. The innuendo stereotype jokes flood the body, we know. Alright, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna take the... I know. But to be honest, look, we're going to be fighting them no matter what, even if they look, it's just the reality. Look, I'm not talking about them now. I'm not talking about them now. Alright, we gotta clean off the rest of this donut. I gotta clean off the rest of this donut. Oh, they definitely not gonna offer that donut. You know what the sad thing is really it's only bringing to light the bullying, Jens. The sad part is I'm doing it not for them, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it to expose the fact that they're breaking TOS. And I stand by them. They're breaking TOS. They're playing a game of submission through bullying. That's the truth. It's like don't ask, don't tell. Hi. Oh, they are. They're terrible. Let me do something real quick. Hold on. All right.
It makes a lot of sense for a dog. Yeah. Well, it depends on the dog, too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we really do have trolls floating. That was a huge donut. It was. Let me see if I can grab a knife. Look, if I don't vent, I'm gonna implode. Okay, Jens? You have to understand from my perspective. I've been holding it in for years, and there's been no progress of any kind. They basically do. Like, YouTube does nothing to help. Like, it really does nothing. It's like they do the most bare bones of bare bones. Alright, look, we still have to deal with them, okay? That's just the reality. I'm trying to see... Oh, I'm on the wrong street. I'm on Bellevue. Alright, but we still need to report their channel. Alright, so... we're grabbing a knife real quickly to get rid of the rest of the... Yep, I know, things I need to do, it'll never get done because nobody wants to listen. I wish I could get my money back for the rent I had to spend to live with him, for the food that he kept stealing. I wish. No, he threw out everything. So, I should charge him for damages, I should charge him for this. He just wants to keep ruining the rest of my life, and I don't know how to let it go to live. That's the problem I'm in. I just wish someone could come in and fix the problems. I'm tired of having to eat my own ashes. I'm tired of this. It's left me spent every day, and it's just kicking me in my face every day. I hate it. I'm not happy. I'm never happy. I'm rarely happy. I'm very rarely. And when I'm happy, it ends, and then I have to be bathed in misery. So we're at 35% on stream. Alright, I'm gonna have to mute myself because I'm going into a restaurant that has... what's it called? What does it have? Copyright music, so I have to mute myself real quick. Last year. Appreciate it. Alright, gotta mute myself, hold on. Alright, so I had to mute myself because they play a lot of copyright music in that restaurant, and I don't want to have to deal with that. Alright, so... Alright, we're gonna give away the rest of this donut, so... Hold on 1 second. There's a homeless person that I can do that to, and I can rid myself of the sugar and diabetes. Let's see. I didn't see the chat, so yeah, it was to. I had the salad to basically clean myself up the donut. So yeah. Is it okay if I give this to you? Thank you. It's a donut. I cut off the pieces that I ate so you don't have to have any. So you're all good. Thank you. So I did a good deed. Yeah, you know, the reason why I posted that video of all of the street pass events, of like the video, like, and to be honest, like, there are some pictures missing. Like, those were the pictures that I had from Facebook. He said thank you. He said thanks. So. Yeah, actually, I can show you real quick. So. There you go, there's the rainbow. So, yeah. That iced coffee looks tempting. I might get some. Yeah, your chats are going through, Kirby. I see what you're saying. So, yeah. This channel used to be about hosting events locally in New Jersey, in Princeton specifically, for people to bring their 3DS and to get Street Pass. And you know, it was a hard group because we had some really great members, and then we had some not so great members. But I did everything to a certain degree of open door policy and passive tolerance to accept what I was given. Yeah, you know, but the thing is, like, then, you know, I have to say this, at the end of the day, then that short, that's good. I'm glad it was hilarious. I'm glad it was hilarious. So, Muting myself. Alright, I'm going to the gaming store real quick. Oh, just go. So, we'll see if do I have any money to get anything? Alright, so we're going to the gaming store. Let's go look at the Skylanders. And they've got YouTube. Dimensions. There's a PlayStation. Thank you, Alfred. There's a Louvre. I wish I could get that one. If I get a game, I would get that one right there and this one, but I can't afford it. I wonder if the H-Shop has it. I can see. I can't.
I was wondering if I go to my housing appointment, I can bring it down and see if y'all can get the power up. I'm pretty sure what the tire
Is that Castlevania? That looks like Castlevania.
I catch too many times, and that's the reason why when it comes on, won't do nothing after the second one. And you know, it's food. I don't know if it's, well, I don't know why you watch the quarter.
Hi, Coco. Need a quarter, just ask. Broken, butlers are still good, and they're all empty. That sucks. Charity cards. That seemed like a friendly person.
Yes. So he is 100%.
Wait, he's 100%. What?
Oh no, just he's had some trouble with PS4s before, but it's most likely a user error.
Yeah. Hi Nick. How you
Hey.
doing?
Oh my God, Sonic Shuffle! I love this game.
Yeah.
Or I should say, I want to love it. Have you played it?
I haven't. No, I got into Dreamcast late.
I know what you're saying. My problem with the game is that, like, if you ever, like, the best analogy for playing this game is, imagine playing Monopoly, and every time someone has a turn, you wait a minute to roll the dice. That's basically playing that game.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not like Sonic Shuffle is bad in concept, it's just executed poorly.
Sure.
So,
'Cause, yeah, I've heard
it's supposed to be
described as,
Mario
like,
Party. It's Mario Party,
with
but
no
Sonic.
minigames?
No, there are mini games.
There are mini games.
So
Okay.
this is how the structure of the game is. Everybody gets cards instead of dice, and the cards are essentially the ones that dictate your movement.
I see.
So if you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's how far you go, and you have to go in whatever direction you can go. So the kicker is, so instead of stars, it's called precious stones.
Okay.
So you get these precious stones. No, it's not based off of what's that one fighter on the Dreamcast? Power Stone. It's not.
Power Stone.
I know, but it's not based off that. So the joke is you have to collect these precious stones in order to trigger the end events of the game. It's just like you need to go through X amount of turns,
I see.
but instead of turns, it's through precious stones.
I see.
So you get X amount of precious stones, and then the game ends, and then they assess who gets first.
Welcome in. Interesting.
And
Okay.
so again, the game isn't bad in concept. It's just like the load times are atrocious.
Yeah.
So like
Welcome in.
so let's say, so to get a precious stone, you have to land on an event space.
Right.
So the game takes 1 minute to get to the battle screen.
That's crazy.
And then when you get to the battle screen, you see the number of hit points you have to attack,
Right.
and you get a card, and you have to hit the amount that it gives you.
I see.
Otherwise, you lose.
I was wondering, is there any way to get this,
But yeah, so Sonic Shuffle, it's a fascinating game because so you basically have to wait a minute to get into the battle screen, and then you wait a minute after you're done.
cool. So, should I just like sit around?
Yeah, it'll just be like.
Oh, okay, cool.
Devil's Third. Oh my god. Wait, I gotta see that. That's nuts. Look at these games. Mario and Sonic at the Sochi Olympics.
Oh, you can spell we lost ours. Because you actually need to
Alright, I think I'm ready to go. Like, I'm like looking at stuff and I'm just not really like. That's related. I can't tell which one that is. Does anybody know which one that is? I'm gonna screenshot real quick. No, not today. I just don't feel. I'm waiting for Star Fox. That's the one I want. Alright, so I just wanted to stop by the store real quick. So, I confess, the one guy asking about PS4, I thought he was homeless. And I felt bad for him because I know he meant well. No, I'm passing on games right now. What is my phone charge at? 47%. Okay. Thank God I have two backup batteries that are charging. So I'll probably go to the TV. I need to get more water. So I need to flush out that donut. That donut was very unhealthy. And I did it for you guys because I needed to do something. No, he was not in the hospital. He did not go to the hospital. He sent me to the hospital, but that's not the way it worked. Yeah, we don't like him. It says after. So, I think this has to go with saying, but does everybody know that, right. So this weekend, there's something very special happening. There are 3 movies in the theater that are going to be at the top box office that are from YouTubers. That's pretty cool.
Wait for it, nigga.
I heard. Oh, look, there's a dog. Nice.
Yeah, I just feel like if I get my phone,
We are in Capitol Hill, folks. Let me put my sunglasses back on. Redfin Open House. I think this is where the QFC is. I might get a haircut today, so there's Magic Cuts. I might do a beard trim, and so all right. So there's the Magic Cuts. I should get a haircut. So my beard and my hair is just like insane. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'll start streaming again soon. I just need to get a haircut right now. I don't want to look like garbage. I will be back to stream again in maybe like an hour. So I might have to charge. I need to regroup and refresh. So guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys for coming today, for liking, for leaving positive comments, for making my life better as best you can, despite the scenario not looking the best. I appreciate that. I just wish I had more options right now. I don't really have a lot of options. I almost have no options. In fact, I practically do have no options. But I appreciate you guys cheering me up today. Thank you. I'm gonna head out. Talk to you later. I'm gonna get a haircut. I'll be back in about an hour. Oh, is this Bartell Drugs out of business? Damn. I think oh my god, it is out of business. Damn. Anyway. I'm sorry about that, Bartell Drugs. Anyway, bye guys. Thank you for watching. Oh, we're our top fans. Let's do that. Alfred Smeg, you're at first place with 200 experience points. Kalaka Boy, you're at 175. Zenith, you're at 100. User Polly, 75. Kirby, 75. Dom FX 1999, 75. Leanna Taylor, 75. Animation Insanity, 75. Rob Noxious, 1975, 25 points. And Who's Your Girl, 20 XP. Thank you for watching.